Have you ever stopped to ask, where did Amanda Owen's husband go? Once the backbone of our Yorkshire farm, Amanda and Clive Owen seemed unbreakable. 9 kids, endless rolling hills, and a love story rooted in the land. But then, Clive vanished from the screen. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. Behind the charming farm scenes was a truth no one saw coming. A crumbling marriage, rising fame, and emotional battles that changed everything. What really happened to the man once standing beside Amanda in every frame? This is the side of the story they didn't show you. Until now. Amanda's rise to fame started well before the cameras ever rolled. Born in 1974 in Huddersfield, she grew up far from the wild moorlands that would come to define her. In 2000, she married Clive, a farmer nearly 20 years her senior. Together, they built a life of grit and devotion at Ravenseat, where their daily responsibilities ranged from lambing and shearing to parenting a bustling brood of children. It was a hard life, but one that thrived on rhythm, resilience, and deep-rooted connection. When our Yorkshire farm premiered, Amanda emerged as its shining star, warm, engaging, and remarkably grounded. Her storytelling won hearts, and her authenticity resonated with audiences. Clive, more reserved, often worked in the background, embodying the quiet strength of a life lived far from the public eye. At first, the contrast worked. Amanda thrived in the spotlight, while Clive held steady on the farm. But as Amanda's media presence grew, books, interviews, television appearances, the balance shifted. While she embraced the platform to share the realities of rural life, Clive grew uneasy. The farm, once a refuge of peace and routine, became a set. The authenticity he cherished began to feel commercialized. Every new appearance, every headline, pulled Amanda further into a world he didn't recognize and didn't want to be part of. Behind the scenes, the divide between them deepened. Tensions brewed, often quietly. The friction wasn't about love lost, but about incompatible dreams. Amanda saw opportunity in the spotlight, a chance to secure their children's future. Clive saw intrusion, disruption, a betrayal of the life they had built, with calloused hands and early mornings. Their arguments, once rare, became regular. Simple disagreements over media commitments turned into full-blown confrontations about values, priorities, and privacy. The final blow came when Amanda accepted an invitation to speak at a major agricultural event. She saw it as a milestone, a way to elevate rural voices. Clive saw it as another excuse to leave. Their fight was loud, raw, and for the first time left no room for reconciliation. Amanda left for the event anyway, but when she returned, the air between them was no longer thick with tension. It was hollow with finality. In 2022, Amanda and Clive announced their separation after 22 years of marriage. The news stunned fans, but unlike many celebrity breakups, theirs wasn't filled with blame or scandal. Amanda, in her typically composed style, acknowledged the emotional exhaustion of trying to be everything at once: a mother, a farmer, a media figure, and a wife. Clive, ever private, didn't offer many words, but his silence said enough. Amanda moved into a nearby holiday let, finally giving herself the space to breathe. Clive stayed at Ravenseat. The tension that once simmered in every room slowly lifted, replaced by a quiet sadness. Yet through it all, one thing remained unshaken: their commitment to their children. Then came the twist no one expected. Amanda and Clive, newly divorced, revealed that they had purchased an old, crumbling farmhouse just a short walk from Ravenseat. They named it Auntie John's, after a beloved local figure. And more surprisingly, they decided to document its restoration in a brand new TV series, Our Farm Next Door: Amanda, Clive, and Kids. They weren't reuniting. They weren't pretending. They were co-parents, business partners, and above all, people still bound by a shared legacy. Auntie John's wasn't just a property, it was a symbol, a second chance. Not at romance, but at redefining what family could look like after heartbreak. But rebuilding a derelict farmhouse isn't just a test of craftsmanship, it's a test of emotional endurance. The structure was falling apart. So were the unspoken pieces of their shared history. Working side by side again meant revisiting wounds that hadn't healed. Cameras rolled as they repaired walls and laid bricks. But beneath the surface, the real work was happening in silence, in stares, in the quiet negotiations of a relationship redefined. Amanda later admitted that the experience nearly broke her. Filming the second series of Our Farm Next Door was, in her words, a period of terrible hardships endured. It wasn't just the physical labor or the punishing Yorkshire weather. It was the emotional toll of pretending everything was fine when it wasn't, of walking through the rubble of a building while carrying the rubble of a life once shared. She recalled a moment when the tears nearly came, not because of a collapsed roof or a missed deadline, but because of Clive, because of the shared rhythm that no longer fit, the familiarity that now felt foreign. Their partnership had shifted, and there was no script for what came next. Amanda's honesty shocked fans. They were used to seeing her as composed, strong, unflappable. But here she was, admitting vulnerability. She wasn't asking for sympathy. She was asking to be seen, as a woman trying to hold it all together while slowly falling apart. Clive, true to form, kept his emotions guarded. But even he couldn't hide the strain completely. Insiders from the production hinted at quiet moments where tension surfaced. Unspoken disagreements, avoided eye contact, solitary breaks behind the barn. There were no explosive fights, just the quiet ache of two people figuring out how to coexist in a new kind of arrangement. And as if emotional storms weren't enough, the literal storms came too. The Yorkshire Dales are breathtaking, but brutal. Snow buried the paths. Rain flooded the worksite. Winds tore through scaffolding. Every task was harder. Every moment was a battle against the elements. But Amanda and Clive kept going. With their children beside them, they hauled beams, cleared rubble, and navigated freezing mornings and waterlogged afternoons. There were no shortcuts, no TV glamour, just the raw reality of life on the land and life after love. Still, something remarkable happened. Amidst the fatigue, the frost, and the fragile silences, Amanda and Clive found a rhythm again. Not the old rhythm of marriage, but a new one. One built on mutual respect, shared goals, and a deep love for their children, and the land that had always held them together. They weren't pretending to be what they once were. They were becoming something new. The cameras captured a family not defined by perfection, but by persistence. Viewers saw two people navigating one of life's most difficult transitions, not through drama or denial, but through effort, through showing up, through choosing day after day to keep building. Amanda once said, "Sometimes the cracks are where the truth gets in." And maybe that's the truth of it all. Their story is no longer about the perfect farm couple, it's about something more real. Two people, no longer in love, but still bound by history, purpose, and care. Not every ending is a failure. Sometimes it's just the beginning of something different, something honest. Amanda and Clive may never be husband and wife again, but what they are now, that takes just as much strength, maybe even more. And as Auntie John's rises from the ruins, so too does a new kind of family. A family not built on romance, but on resilience. What do you think of Amanda and Clive's journey? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more true stories behind the screen. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.